Every campaign needs a theme and story. Product marketing and brand typically create that. And the CMO is typically very involved. Then you have the programs. That's typically defined by RevOps, ABM. Don't forget sales, right? Demand gen. Like it's sometimes one of the companies that we're working with, the CMO, CRO are talking about audience definition. The best way to do this too is like take the financial plan you have and say, all right, here's how the financial plan is segmented. Let's start there, and then how do we get more granular from the financial plan? And what are the goals for revenue from the financial plan? And how do we make sure our campaign structure is set up in a way to support those financial plan goals? And that's where you start to get into budget, goals, cascading all the way down. And then there's the offers and channels. What I see most marketing teams do, though, still, is they talk about channels and offers, and they don't talk about programs and the theme and the story, which is like, or they don't connect all of them together. So this is, again, uniting your marketing team, but uniting your go-to-market teams with this structure. So it looks like Mike really likes this slide. Let me know if you have any questions about this, because this is important. That's why I made the visual on this whiteboard that I always have right here. It's blank right now. But yeah, I think visualizing this is super important. And again, you can change this to however makes sense for your organization. All right. So let's talk about executing this. This is not easy stuff. I will be frank. I mean, I make it sound maybe easy, but like, even with 5 people, it's going to take some serious coordination and execution to make this work well. First, you got to teach people before you even get to week 1. When I went into Air Meet, my last job before I started TACK, and we did, integrated revenue campaigns. This is an example of one of the slides, by the way, we did. We created to help get the team aligned and to help sales understand what we're doing. I had to educate the team on this for like a month or 2. No exaggeration. You have to get people to understand it. You have to get people to buy into it. You need to get people to start doing it, right? It's like study the system, study the system, understand the system, change the system. I had to study what was going on. I had to help people understand what needed to be changed, and then you have to go do it. So, the change has to happen. So this is just an example of how you can think about like what has to happen in different week intervals. So here's what the other crazy thing about integrated revenue campaigns, but this is why marketing is so hard. You need to be executing campaigns in the quarter, and then almost typically at the same time planning the next quarter's campaigns. And that's why I like to get started with smaller teams and teams who are less experienced with this. Run them for 6 months. Don't try to change stuff every 3 months. I'd say though, in the beginning, it might be useful to do one campaign, try it for 3 months, learn a lot, iterate, right? Like it's like ship it, learn, ship it again type mentality. I have seen that work where, you do it for 3 months, you iterate. And then once you find your groove after the second or third time, you can kind of keep it going for 6 months. This is also determined based off of how good your product roadmap is and how well organized your rest of the go-to-market is. Meaning, have you found product market fit? And arguably, do you even want to do an integrated revenue campaign?